And we're live. You guys down
Sure.
for your topic?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
This is an am I an asshole or who is the asshole type thing. I know Murka loves these, but this one's a little different because it's in video form. So I'm going to show you two videos. The first one is what this gentleman was filming with his drone. And the second one is going to be what happened during the filming. So here's the first one. Oh, wait. People are going to be so happy that I'm doing watch together. Create your room. I tested this offline and got the idea.
Yeah, I've seen that before too. Well, this could revolutionize.
Well, it just doesn't work
entire
for
show.
live
Shit.
link and other,
Sorry about
other
that.
video sites.
Oh shit. PKA big screen.
This shot of the boardwalk is what he's trying to film.
Yes, that was what he was doing. Whatever. People need stock footage and stuff. It's a business. So that's a thing.
Oh, that was an ad.
Yeah, right? Here. Are you guys turning the volume? I can't get my volume low enough in this thing.
I turned mine all the way down.
I turned mine 100% down because it was getting I was getting a lot of feedback.
It was crazy. Okay. So anyway, here is what happened during the filming.
So there's a drone going around Pacific Beach, San Diego, looking at a pier.
There's some fishermen looking at the drone. The guy's frantically pulling up his line. Motherfucker's spotting it. Sniped it.
No.
Yeah, he caught the drone with his fishing line. And you can see it's hooked onto it.
What an asshole.
Let me see you get reeled in. Come on.
You're going to be disappointed. It's just a bunch of replays of the catch. But
Wow,
yeah.
What an ass.
That's he can't even be that big of an ass. That's impressive.
Totally ass.
Yeah, those things are expensive. That's not cool.
Sorry, I think I made it pause when I tried to go to full screen or something. Just wanted to be bigger. But yeah.
Damn, why is
This is like some spaghetti western music, right? I feel like it should be cutting
So-
back and forth between Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef.
For audio listeners, what happened was the guy frantically reeled up his fishing rod, flung it at the drone, and caught it with his hook in midair. And then now it's just showing some footage of him trying to untangle the fishing line from the propeller.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's a douche thing to do, but it's also really funny that he was able to catch a drone like that.
Now, is it a douche thing to do to fly a drone over a bunch of people fishing?
No.
That's lower on the douche meter.
On the
than
beach there, I
actively
feel
it's
like-
not even douchey. Like, that's public property. Like, how
It is,
that
but there's
at
a
all
different.
douchey?
There's a different.
It's like if
feeling
somebody
to that.
ran by with a video camera and did this. Like, would you call that guy an asshole?
Maybe
No,
a little.
there's a distinctly different feeling than someone holding a camera up where there's a face associated with it. You see who's recording you. You know what's going on. Than there is where you just see some nameless, faceless drone. You don't know the intentions of it. You don't know what it's looking for.
Well, it's the pier where they're fishing. It's not like it's hovering over apartment houses and there's a guy masturbating remotely somewhere. It's the fucking dock.
Don't judge
No.
me. So
Hey, whatever you're into.
Yeah,
buddy,
my
get off
hobbies are
fishing.
my hobbies. What if it was a
I'm
beach?
just saying there's a stigma.
What if it was a beach and there were, men and women sunbathing on the beach and there was a drone flying around? It's a public place. There's no expectation of privacy, but still.
Yeah, I agree with Woody there. Like, there's no expectation of privacy insofar as, the people can film you.
That
But
guy
it
should
is
be arrested.
creepy to
That guy
go
should be
around.
arrested. Totally.
Which guy?
Which guy?
The guy who knocked the
Oh,
drone
yeah.
down.
He attacked property.
Yeah.
I think a
Someone
bigger asshole is someone who flies like a biplane over the beach and you've got noise pollution going on.
Did
And
you
a
guys
stupid
all
banner
leave the
behind
room?
it.
Yeah.
Oh, you could
I'm
potentially leave it up
surprised it.
and we'll use it again.
Oh, I'll go back.
But it's
Oh,
not a big
Yeah, I
deal.
can go back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, carry on.
Not
Oh,
an
no.
asshole.
Not an asshole. So wait, you say not an asshole fisherman.
No, the fisherman's an asshole.
I think that's unanimous.
Yeah.
I have a thing against fishermen.
Drone
I'm
guy's not
totally
an asshole.
when I used to for people
explain this.
All of them.
Your thing against fishermen, all of them.
yeah, fucking fisherman. So I grew up.
Tied up in their hooks while surfing or something.
I grew up off 14th Street in Ocean City, and at the end of 14th Street, there's a fishing pier. Something about piers in the water cause the sand to like build up, and that makes the waves break off the pier particularly nicely. Like it's just better. And also, as a surfer, like you get to know the beach and where the waves break. And the fishing pier just like it really lets you know how far out you are. You can like visually get back to the same spot that just worked for you in a way that's more difficult if it's just like a straight beach without references. So surfers fish next to the pier. That's a thing. The fishermen hate it. They're always like yelling at the surfers, like picking on the surfers. They would cast their lines at us and try and hit us. And sometimes successfully hit us. I had a friend who used to surf with wire cutters, just little pliers, and cut their lines and shit. And they didn't even have to hit him. Like if they're casting at him, he'd go over to it, cut the line. Fuck you. You know, like those things have sinkers on them. Like that would hurt. And
hooks.
Yeah.
What if he hooks you out there?
Sharp part.
Right? Like it's a problem.
He could drown you out there if he hooks you right and you get tangled in that line.
And I didn't think of myself as like you know, a defenseless child at the time, but I was between like 12 and 18 when most of this happened. You know, they're casting at fucking like 13-year-olds. Like, fucker, out there surfing right here in my ocean. Fuck you. God, that's not a cool thing.
That's true.
You hate
That's
all
true.
fishermen. Didn't I recall you just giving a story a couple PKAs ago where you ran a jet ski so hard it ran out of gas and a nice old fisherman saved you and brought you back to shore?
That was a boater.
I recall the words
Who
fisherman
happened
being
to
thrown
have
around.
fish. You know,
I don't know if he was a fisherman or not. I may have called him that.
There was a pole in the boat. He was a fisherman.
I don't remember. It was eons ago. He may have been a fisherman, but
To be fair, a lot of surfers are assholes as well.
they're
Very rude to the other. I feel like it was fishermen are asshole to the surfers. Surfers are assholes to everyone else on the beach. Everyone else. This is my wave, bro.
Dude,
Fuck you.
as I got
either.
older, I made it a point of like striking back and stuff. One thing we used to do a lot was jump off the fishing pier. So the fishing pier was an exclusive club. You know, you had to like pay rent or monthly dues or something to get on it. And there's barbed wire like coming off the fishing pier to like stop you from climbing it and getting on. But the barbed wire wasn't done well enough to keep me out. So I would routinely just fucking like get on the fishing pier, start running. And they knew I didn't belong, and they'd be like, you know, get him, and I'll just book it down the fishing pier. like you fuckers are 75 years old. You're not getting shit. And then when I got to the end of the pier, like I'm trapped, but I'm not trapped because this is when I jump off the pier and swim away. And I used to do that like as a hobby. Like I would do it just to like I don't know, friends I didn't see them. I like want to see me jump off that fucking pier, and I would run.
yeah. Why? I wonder why the fisherman didn't like you.
You're right. It's a curious thing, but that
I can understand why the fishermen didn't like the surfers if you were being all rambunctious, running around stomping, sending vibrations into the water, scaring the fish, or whatever it is. And also, like from their perspective, because I've never been a huge fisherman, I've never surfed, but from their perspective, it's like we have this one area to fish out in the water. You have as far as the eye can see. You have the whole ocean. Go 600 yards down that way, and if that's not good enough, go another 500 yards. Go half a mile past that. It's you know what it is? It's still fucking ocean. Like you have all that space, and you're cutting our wires and fucking with us. Granted, it's mean to throw things at you and try and catch you like you're a piece of meat, but I can understand why they were aggravated.
I feel like this is like a lions and hyenas thing, right? Like it's just natural enemies, mortal enemies, whatever it's called. And like as in my personal journey on this thing, I started as just an innocent child who got cast at and picked on until eventually I evolved into an older child who could strike back to some extent. But to them, I was probably just like a future punk, which I guess wasn't too far off.
I mean,
as a current punk.
It soon happened as you ran on the pier.
But it's like a terrorist, man. Like you kill someone, now that child's father has been murdered and he becomes a terrorist, right? So in my head, like their actions formed me. Like they created the terrorist I became.
That's true. That's a good way to
But
rationalize
there's such a
poor
simple
decisions.
solution to this, though.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
It's such a simple solution, though. Taylor was thinking exactly what I was thinking. Like, you have a little tiny dock here, that or getting a fucking boat if you're a fisherman. And the surfers have the entire beachfront to go wherever they want.
Yeah, and if it really is a matter
And
of
if you
like,
needed
oh,
to keep an eye distance, I'm this far out, you can still see the fishing dock.
Well, I have
here
two
where you
counters for
go
that.
from.
One,
Okay.
I lived there. Like that was in my head, like my beach. This is my local beach. When I exit like my door, walk 2 blocks, this is my beach.
I'm
For
sure
you to
they
say
do, too.
no, they don't. They come from all over. They've got one fucking spot. Like to me, you live miles from here. This
Okay.
is my beach.
They're
like-
literally paying money to access the dock, though. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
if it's
which
their
made like
dock.
fucking
The
bring
money
it-
that you use for all your elaborate elective classes over there at school.
In my
Yeah.
head, it was like, oh, exclusive club. Do you have any Grey Poupon? You fucking 75-year-old bitch. So,
Jesus.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of hate in there. So,
I couldn't tell.
and the other thing, like I was saying earlier, this beach with the pier on it was a better surfing place than like not all beaches are created equal. Like a lot of beaches you just would never surf on. They suck. But because of the pier, the waves would break in a better way. So
you shouldn't surf on any beach. There are sharks in there, and it's
that's
irresponsible.
That's- but
No, but I can understand both sides there, except for the "it's my beach." Like that's kind of silly. Like when you said they come from all
That's
over.
like when people come
I
out
thought
of
you meant,
town
like-
and surf
No,
too.
well,
That's
yeah.
one of those
Yeah.
things when people come from out of town to surf at your beach, and there's a rivalry now. The hometown surfers versus the out of town surfers. That shit happens all the time, and it's absurd.
it is super common, and
It's
I
like a
see-
giant pissing
I see
match.
all
No,
sides
don't
of it.
this.
But the it's my beach stemmed from like, hey, you could go anywhere, and it's like, well, I should be able to surf in my backyard. Like, you can't take it from me. This is like everyone has like like a home court, and this was mine.
That's true, but it sounds like they were trying to share it with you.
By
Aside from the
casting
whole,
at me, that's
Oh,
how my
yeah.
relationship with them started. I'm just out there surfing, like not knowing anything, and they're going at me. And there were signs that said "Stay this far away," and I
So
would.
they
At first,
casted the first cast.
They did. They'd cast, even though I'm like, I'd point to them like, there was that big piling in the sand that showed you like marked how far away you're supposed to be. It's like I'm past the piling, and they're still casting at me. And at which point, like, if you don't respect the piling, neither do I. Until it got to the point where I'd shoot the pier, I'd surf right through it. Fuck them.
I think both parties are at fault. I'm gonna give extra asshole points to the fisherman though, because I don't care how old you are, you could poke somebody's fucking eye out with a goddamn lure.
Also,
That's
I-
true,
anybody
and
ever-
you work for Woody, so it's a safe side to take.
Oh, I was arguing
No, he
hard
wouldn't
against
do
it.
that.
I think both parties are wrong.
But the other side of it is like the surfers are usually kids. Like I feel like this is adults picking on children.
That is
Nothing
true.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Character.
Uh,
if
It's
it
hard
was
to pick on
free,
other adults.
they're paying, so like be an asshole you want.
I want Kyle's perspective on this. Who is, you can.
I think they're all assholes because they're like enjoying themselves at a beach, and that's like people don't belong at the beach. There's salt water and sand. What about the beach screams? Oh, people should be here. Like, no, nothing.
Most
Nothing
people
about the beach.
Just
There's
like
food
that.
there.
I don't care. There's because people bring the food there. People
No,
bring
they're talking
food
about
there.
fish.
That's a good.
No, there's carts.
It's
and,
a source of food, the ocean.
vending. Oh well, that's a dumb argument.
Yeah, you eat any of that New Jersey fish?
He
you'll
asked,
be-
"What about
Mo-
the beach
growing
screams
another
people
Yeah,
fucking
should
but
be
most
there?"
people aren't going to the beach for their fucking food of the day, though. Like
No,
to
no,
go into
but
the
I'm-
ocean and get food.
I was talking about more of like a natural state of things. Like, what about
like
the
early
beach?
man.
Yeah, early man. Like I bet a lot of early people who were near the beach use the
Yeah,
beach as a
if
food source.
it's 2015 though, if you're going to the beach, you're an asshole. There's nothing there for us. There's nothing there for us. All those silly beach sports are dumb.
Well,
The
that's
idea
true.
of beach volleyball, like, first of all, I think those chicks are super hot, and I like watching women's beach
I was
volleyball.
gonna say
but the whole
bikinis
idea-
and cocoa butter. You don't like the beach?
Well, there's no problem with beach volleyball. That's an actual sport because you're directly competing. Like surfing and stuff like that. That's an activity. It's not a sport.
all
I don't
those
think
things.
people call
The
it-
salt, I hate the salt water. I hate the sand. There's more sun there because it's reflecting off the sun, sand, like we talked about the other day. No, it's a. I'd rather be in the fucking desert. They're equal to me. The ocean, the beach, and the desert. Like both of them are the same.
I'd rather be
have
on the
no
beach.
interest in
vastly
it.
different.
No, I mean, as far as like some enjoyment that I'm gonna have there, like when always people often invite me to beaches. They're like, "Oh, we're going to Florida, we're going to Panama, we're going here or there." I'm just like, "Fuck no! I'd rather go to Akron, Ohio, Absolutely not. Like, no, I don't like the beach. I hate the beach. I really, really do.
Nobody wants to go.
What
to
happened to you at the
Ohio.
beach?
Nothing. I just never had
Like
a
salt
pleasant.
water and stuff.
I mean, I've been. Yeah, I hate the salt water. I really do. It burns my
I'm
eyes.
not a big fan of the beach either. Like if it was like beach or we go to Tahoe or something, I'm gonna pick Tahoe.
I feel like
But I don't-
everybody
I'm
else
not
is
gonna
just
go-
dealing.
Fuck you, fuck the beach. I don't have that kind of stance on the
I
matter.
feel like everybody else must be just pretending like they're not itchy as fuck every time they step out of the salt water. Like when I step out of salt water and I dry, I'm
that.
immediately like it like the salt's all over me. I can feel it. I'm itchy everywhere.
Yeah, I get
Like-
that
like, I
too.
hate it.
We had an outdoor shower.
Fuck that.
We just rinse off. You wouldn't want to
Sure,
be
yeah.
unless you're like going in and out of the water. You probably want to rinse off. But I'm more about. See, the beach isn't my cup of tea. The ocean is. Like the beach activities don't really interest me. Water activities do.
That
I never
area.
spent much time on the sand, unless I was working. But the
Beach
Yeah,
ain't
I
that
think-
cool. Ocean ain't that cool. Right there where they meet, there you can wade in, do a little body surfing. That's a good spot right there. The risk of being dragged out is very minimal. Shark attacks on the lower side of things, and I can still play in the sand. So, right
I
there.
can see that, I suppose, although I have no interest in those activities because once again, you're in that salt water, which is poisonous to us. You're out there in that poison water. But the people who sit on the beach, like on like a towel or in a chair, just tanning out there, that's another group of people. They can go with the Hawaiians. They just, all of us. I don't get it. Like, what the fuck are you doing out there?
if you
What the
can
fuck are
still
you
touch
doing
the
out
sand, keep going. That's my opinion on the beach. The good shit is further out.
I hate it. Every now and then they talk about global warming by this year. They show the water levels rising. I'm like, that ought to kill all the worst people in the world. All right, now we're talking.
Yeah, they're not gonna move.
You kill if we could wipe out all those beachgoers by raising the sea levels 15 feet or something like that. Good. I'll spray.
15.
Give me some more aerosol cans. I'll drive an F-250.
Yeah. Just spraying hairspray out for no reason. Let your car idle all day and night.
What a
doing your
great
part.
policy.
I was listening to Rush Limbaugh deny climate change for about an hour today. It was hilarious.
As you do.
He brought up George Bush and the arsenic thing and explained it away real quick. He was like, they're making a big deal over such a small amount of arsenic. We're not talking about a huge amount of arsenic in the water, minuscule amounts of arsenic. And it's like, I don't want any fucking arsenic in my water. Like, what are you talking about?
Good Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah,
You listened to Rush Limbaugh for an hour today?
yeah.
He's got
Not
a lot of
today.
fun.
Day before yesterday, I guess. Yesterday or the day before, something like that. I've been driving around. I drove like 500 miles in 2 days, just quick trips driving around, like getting supplies together. So I was in the car a lot.
I mentioned the map earlier. Okay, it takes some time to travel.